Tony said you broke something.
All right, here we go. Try again.
Oh, it's doing something.
Yeah. So basically, I hit like start streaming in OBS, but then YouTube's different to Twitch. I have to actually go live in YouTube. I have to hit the button. So here we are now. Anyway, hello. This is episode 5 of our Forbidden Lands campaign. We've been away for 7 weeks. Happy to be back, I'm sure, everyone, and excited to get back into it. Yeah, hopefully we'll have a smooth stream. If not, there might be some little technical hiccups with internet connections and stuff. But it is what it is. So here we are. Got a few people in chat, which is good. Any questions from any of you four before we kick off?
What the hell did we do last time?
I'll do a recap. I'll definitely be doing a recap, so don't worry about that.
I remember some murder occurred.
No, it was not murder.
Well, murdering? No, which just seems weird.
Self-defense.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, there was definitely some action. In fact, there was pretty much only action last episode. So yeah. I'll do a recap.
It's a pretty easy recap.
Yeah, we also did a fairly big recap and a discussion around things like experience points and reputation in our last tavern talk, which was also like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a while.
So as a reminder, I'm just gonna actually flash this up on the screen. In fact, you should be able to see it already. The party were in Lagoon Point, which was this village on the edge of the swamp. They decided to head off to the west to go towards this this ruin that they'd heard about at Varasa, and they were backtracking on the way they went, and they came across this the scene of a massacre, what looked like a massacre, and this was only like 2 hexes out from Lagoon Point, and yeah, you kind of played it cautious. I've got a mosquito buzzing around my face. I've been trying to kill it all evening. Sorry. I'll be stopping to do that throughout the night probably. Anyway, where was I? Yes, 2 hexes away, scene of what looked like the scene of a massacre. You played it safe, and it turned out that this was actually a group of 12 humans armed with clubs who were trying to club you senseless, and you completely destroyed them. And that was the session. The entire session was this random encounter, which ended up tying in quite nicely with some of the stuff that's happened before. And that's all that happened. So you were in the process of heading off to, off towards the west, and then that occurred. In terms of the date and everything, if we head over to the side of the right-hand side of the map, we've got the calendar and everything. We're on the 35th. Actually, I forgot to put the token on there. Give me a second. Do that in my GM view. It's on my GM view, but it's not on my.
It's showing on our player view.
Yeah, I see it as
the 35 is filled in.
away.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Right, let me do a refresh. It's weird.
Daytime. Spring.
Yeah, it wasn't showing. It was showing as the morning still. Okay, this is very weird. Looks like I'm still connected to the same. There we go. Okay, now it's updating. Okay. So as you can see here now on the stream, the 35th is filled in. It's the daytime of the 35th. You departed on the morning of the 35th, and that's where we are. It's the month of Springwain, as you can see there. And yeah. That's what happened. So if we head over to the character sheets very quickly, there's a few things to talk around. One is reputation and one is experience points. Now I can't recall exactly whether we talked about experience points. I'm not 100% sure on whether you all added them to your character sheets. I know Arlek did. So Arlek's got 8. A lot of other people have 4. Which is too low. So I think Ed and Harry haven't added theirs.
Okay. So that's 8 total.
Yeah, but they're looking at 4 total. Everyone else, which is too low.
So I need another 2.
Well, nope. You would have got 1 from the last session.
Yeah.
Arlek has been racking up a little bit more because of...
Of course, yeah.
Metagamer.
What? What?
So,
Calling you out.
so
Don't hate the
Lyria...
player.
So basically, Harry and Ed get one XP from that last session.
Okay.
Lyria and Arlek get 2. So Lyria's up to 6 XP,
I'm up to
and
5.
Arlek is sitting on 8. So yeah, we might want to kind of
Ooh.
track total and current. If you look at
Yep, I've
Arlek's
just
sheet,
done
you
that.
can see what he's done there. It's kind of a nice way of
Yep.
doing it. I'm aware that the stream, by the way, has just gone a bit squiffy with video, so bear with us a sec while Harry connects back. I don't want to mess around with the video settings right now because as soon as he pops back on, it'll go back into the correct position.
You hope.
Like so. No, that's not good. No, it is right. It's good. It's good. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do Harry's for him while he's out.
That's all done.
Yep, seen that. So Harry should have 5 out of 5. Okay, the second thing to talk about is reputation. Arlek, you've done yours already, I see, Eric. So Arlek got 1 reputation. He started with 0 because he's playing a young character. He got 1 reputation for being swallowed by a bog octopus and living to tell the tale, and that's definitely given him a reputation. And Lyria has gained 1 reputation, so she started with 1 being an adult, and that's going to go up to 2 now. Charlotte, and that is basically down to you being witnessed by people who ran away of making somebody self-immolate
Allegedly.
It was spontaneous.
It's pretty obvious in the heat of the moment. In the heat of the moment, pun intended.
Weird shit happens in the Forbidden Lands, wasn't it?
So that's where we are. That's where we left it. That's kind of currently where we're sitting. And the idea then now is to, I guess, to continue on towards your original destination. But it's up to you in terms of like where you want to go, what revisiting sites, that sort of thing. So we'll just wait for Harry to pop back in because his internet's just disconnected again.
So we were going to loot all the corpses and shit and grab the cart that they left behind, weren't we?
Yeah.
I'm sure I thought it was a really happy map. I think we saw, wasn't there?
Yeah, like where were we going? What got
We
us
were
here
going
in the
west,
first place?
weren't we? That was the
So
plan.
we were going west to look for a legend that we'd heard about, the Eye of the Rose, I think.
A very large ruby, I think it was.
Indeed.
Yes.
And that was getting Lyria all sorts of excited, from what I remember.
All hot and bothered.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then we stumbled upon these ne'er-do-wells who... Well, anyway, but we already covered that. And yeah, that's where we are. So I think we should keep on going. Though I would say that, Arlek is here with his little staff. He's probably prodding at this body. And they're like, Lyria? What happened here?
I have absolutely no idea what you were talking about.
Well, we were engaged in a bit of fisticuffs, and this one started boiling from the inside. It smells pretty horrible. And, you notice some things, and, yeah.
Couldn't tell you. Maybe he ate something bad. Just didn't agree with him.
Right. Well,
Could have been possession or something. I mean, who knows what stalks these lands?
oh, all manner of demons for sure. All right. Key?
I wouldn't press her on anything.
I see. Well, and I look over the cart. Yeah, what condition is the cart in?
The cart's in fine condition. You could totally reuse the cart without any issues. I think I mentioned this last time. It had been turned over and made to look with some like stage dressing, like it had been damaged, and there was stuff all strewn around on the ground around it. But it's actually in perfect working condition.
Yeah.
Was it a cart for a horse to pull? Or was
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are actually 2 dead horses on the ground. So, and the cart. Let's just say that the cart is designed. Well, like, actually, maybe the cart can be designed to be pulled by one animal. Why not?
Yeah, might be a bit of a load.
Were we talking about filling up our food stores with the horses?
I was
the horse
about to
meat.
think the same thing.
But yeah.
So
I feel like-
how long dead are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, not too long dead.
Excellent. I'll
Yeah.
start carving up the horses.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if we
Maybe-
can get the cart moved towards, like, say, the edge of the forest that we're starting to come along to and hide it, because otherwise we're going to have to try and take it through the forest or take it back to Lagoon Point, and neither is a
Yeah, we're not going to be able to get it through that
option.
forest.
no,
Yeah.
just
Okay.
weigh us down. On our way back, once we come back here, then we can always look at collecting it again.
All right. Well, Key, how about you start carving those things up? I'll get Greta to take the cart over to the tree line over
Will
there,
do.
and we'll see what we do. And
Seems like a
maybe,
plan.
maybe we can get Nanny Goat to help too. She's a big old one. Yeah. So I'll try and hide the cart.
Hide the
Yeah,
cart. Did you
would
say?
it-
Just trying to try and bring the cart over to the side of the woods and see if I can kind of move it out of sight, such that maybe it'll be here when we come back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give him a hand with that.
Yeah. And if we're gonna be cooking horse flesh up, maybe we're gonna make a camp here for the day, or
How far to the tree line is it, Matt?
You can see it from where you are. It's probably, yeah, like you can see it kind of on the edge of your sight. So maybe it'd take you half an hour to an hour to get there.
I reckon in that case, we take all the we do what we can with the horses, put whatever meat we can on there. We'll kind of like skin them as well, and we'll stick it all on the cart, take it over to the tree line. Then we'll set up camp in the evening,
Alright.
and then we'll just kind of just be on the edge of the forest.
all right, let's get started.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back, Harry.
No.
It was an inopportune time for everything to go.
You
It's
just missed
up.
the recap. That's basically it. You're taking the carts with you, I guess. Well, at least part of the way. And sorry, and the
Okay.
horses. What's happening with the horses?
So I'm gonna butcher them to get as much meat off of them as possible, as well as the pelts, as much as the pelts we can get. And I'll just do that.
So the question for that then is going to be, give me whoever's going to be butchering them, give me a survival roll, and we're going to basically, I'm going to use,
Sure.
I'm going to have to kind of house rule this ever so slightly in terms of, because you haven't hunted these yourself.
No.
Theoretically, not everything on there is going to be
It's
as
fine.
good as it would be normally. So let me just look up. But figure out horse meat now because it's not actually in the.
Well, so a boar is like 4 and a deer is 5. I reckon we're probably looking at between 3 and 4 if we don't take everything.
Maximum maximum meat. I think if you're happy to eat horse, it would provide as much meat as a deer. Absolutely. So yeah, we'll go with the five available meat, and
Yep.
if you get if you can get 2 or more successes on your roll, then you get the full amount of meat. If you don't, then I will
Okay.
determine. If you get 1 success, then I'll have to determine some. Oh, this is from 2. This is from 2, right?
It's from 2, yeah.
It's
Let's-
gonna be more than I can cook. So.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
mean,
lot of meat.
Let's take the roll first and see what you're gonna get.
And then there's all these humans.
No, Kark, no. Stop it now.
Look at them all. There's lots of them. There's got to be, I don't know, like almost 300 kilograms a person.
Well, you're welcome to go dive into them. I think there's one back there that's already cooked.
So you won't be able to push that. That's a failed roll.
No.
That is the plan.
Let's just get with the basics.
So you're gonna get just give me a straight up D6 roll. You're gonna be able to get D6 meat off of the horses.
That would help, wouldn't it? 2.
2. Okay.
Scrawny horses.
Yeah.
Ed, you fired it rolling.
So there'll be some reason. I mean, if you can think of a good reason, by all means. You know,
It's probably just not
narratively
good
share
meat.
one.
It's probably
Yeah, they might be old.
they might
Yeah,
be
sure.
old and naggedy, which is probably
In
why
fact,
they
that
got
is exactly
wounded.
what it'll be. These horses were probably destined to be slaughtered for show, and therefore they took some old and sick nags, and
Yeah.
there's a little bit of meat to be had on them, but most of it's kind of not really suitable.
Some of this tough, stringy horse meat.
Yeah, they were also butchered to make it look particularly gruesome. So they weren't like killed in a way intended for them to be used for food. They were killed to make it look gruesome. So there's a lot of like
If the meat's
slashing.
contaminated with intestine, then probably best
So yeah.
left.
So that's
fine.
what we're gonna run with. Yeah. Okay. So you've got two. You managed to get 2 units of meat off of them. That took up a whole quarter of a day to do all that. I'm gonna say, because that's basically like a quarter day sort of thing.
It's sort of like the rest of our day, whatever that we had.
Yeah, but like while he's doing that, can someone else be setting up a camp?
Yeah. That's basically what I was gonna say. Is
Yeah, sorry.
I'm kind of in retrospect, kind of thinking about this. So who else wants to be doing things while Key is taking the time to butcher and obtain meat from these horses? So making camp is, if you're going to camp here, that makes sense. Then by all means, someone can make camp.
I would like to harvest the eyeballs of the men that I killed. Just go in out with a thumbnail.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that in not a very long length of time. That would just take you like half an hour. At
Cool.
most.
And then I'm going to spend the rest of the quarter day making a necklace.
Okay.
It's nasty.
You'll make. Okay, give me a crafting roll, which is just based on strength, and
Yep.
if you're gonna make one anyway, but how good it looks and how well preserved the eyeballs are depends on whether you get a
I
success
mean,
or not.
whatever cordage is around, and it's preserved by hopefully drying out. it's
Yeah,
not
nice.
going to be an elegant solution.
Okay.
All right, so I got strength, and that is. Hang on, while I look to my character sheet there. Strength,
Strength is
4.
4 and
Yep.
no crafting.
and I'm getting no extra.
Nope.
help.
No,
And you won't be able to
fine.
push it either. It being a quarter day activity, a long roll.
Yeah.
You well, just keep the roll. You've got a 6 in there. You don't do the 4d6. You just do 4d. Or B4 actually. It's base 4, but it's fine.
Oh, of
You've
course,
rolled.
I
You've rolled
remember
4
now.
dice. They're all. It's fine, and we can see that one of them is a 6, so that's a success. So you make a nice looking eyeball necklace. Well done.
And while all this is going on, I think Lyria and I were dragging this cart over to the side of the woods. So Lyria, I don't know if you want to take the lead on the.
Whoop, it's gone again.
Oh, there he goes. On the camp making roll.
That would be survival, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got my wits that could benefit from that. Yeah, sure. I'll see about finding us a decent spot to set up camp.
Yeah. Can I help?
Use the-
Since we're both doing this.
Use the cart as a makeshift camp bit as well.
Yeah, we could. Yep.
And we probably have some sort of gear to add. Hold on. I have a flint and tinder, so that's a +1 by itself. Yeah, they don't have like a tent. Okay, I might have a tent on.
I've got a tent. No, yes, I've got a small tent, which gives you +2.
Yeah, so let's add a 2 and maybe my help. So that's like +3.
Oh yeah, nice.
So we're camping in the forest line nearby.
No, you're
Yeah.
gonna be camping in the hex that you're in.
Yeah.
That massacre point.
Well, a little bit further on from the massacre.
I mean, we can
Not
say
surrounded by
that you're
bodies.
like, because it's like a half an hour to an hour's walk towards the forest. You can be on that side. You're not like directly in the middle of the massacre, but
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I
technically,
mean, it's not like I mind blowflies, but we got out of the marsh for a reason.
yeah. Okay, so give me the roll.
Okay, so I'm looking at base 5 plus
1S, 3G,
and
2G.
2 gear.
Yeah.
And we're going to say that the first 2 dice are the tent. Okay?
Mhm.
Because you're looking at 3 gear dice, right?
Can we combine gear like that?
Yeah.
I think you
Just do 3.
okay.
Just do 3 gear, and it's just when I'm looking at it visually. You can't push this roll, that's why. And in fact, it doesn't matter because you can't push this roll. So it doesn't... makes no difference, really. Okay,
Hooray.
well, you got a success. That's fine. Good that you can't push the roll because that would ruin your gear.
Leave my turn alone.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got a success on your make camp, which is fine. Which means we don't roll for mishap then for
All those
sleep
fives.
time.
Mm,
All right. So that's the 2 of you doing that together.
yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. So the quarter moves into evening.
Mhm.
That's what you've been doing the whole time. So we're now in the evening quarter. And night is approaching. I keep this segment thing is kind of throwing me off a little bit because you spent the morning quarter traveling, then you were in the daytime quarter, then you had the fight in the daytime quarter, and we're now finishing the daytime quarter. Yeah. So that's the daytime used up. So we're now in the evening quarter. There we go. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think maybe Kark and I should sleep because I can't sleep at night. And
That's true. You can't.
and we need our goblin scout for the nighttime hours too. So
It seems like a fair time. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Arlek.
Makes sense.
Hey, Arlek, look what I got.
oh, I don't think you did that right.
I'm gonna keep an eye out while I'm sleeping.
Now,
But
that just
Look,
seems
they're
extreme
looking at you.
there. That seems extreme there,
Ooh.
Kark. I'm trying. I need to get some sleep. I don't want to be thinking about
See them do
eyeballs.
worse.
Yeah, I would argue that I would need sleep first
okay.
because feeling a bit drained from our battle.
So we'll
Oh
just
yes, I
leave
forgot
Key up by
about the
himself.
witchery and hoodoo.
You
I'm
three
down 3
fall
points.
asleep. I'll stay on guard. For the
It's all right, Key. I'll stay up with you. I've seen too many eyeballs now, anyway.
Okay.
6.
What can I do during the evening while everyone's sleeping?
Lots of skin on corpses. You could go and harvest.
Oh
that.
yeah, I was gonna cook. I should cook this. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You said you were sleeping during the evening. Sorry, right?
Yeah, but I won't be because I got freaked out by all the eyeballs and Lyria's sleeping too.
And you want
so
to
I'd be
keep
like,
you want to keep the sleepless condition, huh?
Oh, well, I'm gonna get the sleepless condition. Or do I already have it? Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Yep, I'm staying up,
Okay.
Oh.
Right. Interesting.
and I'm
Alright.
cooking our horse meat.
Okay. Just to
Nice.
remind everyone of the sleepless conditions. Sleepy. If you're not sleepy, or if you're sleepy, or sleepless, however it's described in the book, it's described as sleepy. You can't recover your wits except via magic. You suffer 1 point of damage to your wits each day.
Yep.
If this damage breaks your wits, then you collapse and you sleep at least 1/4 day. Yeah, and basically that's basically just what happens. Your wits, your wits just degrades on a daily basis until you collapse from exhaustion.
Yeah, I'll need
so
to
you're-
sleep tomorrow.
Yeah, you're currently at 2 wits, so once we get to the daytime, once it gets to the next day, it's going to drop down to 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Wait,
just applied the damage.
You'll be
You're gonna
sleeping,
end up sleeping whether
within
you
the
want to
next
or not.
sort of 36 hours, whether you want to or not, exactly.
No matter what.
Okay, so everyone else is sleeping. Yeah, everyone can restore their health. So on your character
I'm
sheets, go
still
ahead and do
selling some meat.
Mhm.
I'm like, you keep an eye out.
that. Oh, sorry. Before we do that,
Yep.
everybody has to actually eat and drink as well. So let's get some survival roll. Oh, sorry, some resource rolls.
Mhm.
Well, we might as well just eat the horse that we've been cooking.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's
2 of you
that's
should,
2
yeah.
people that don't have to roll.
Um,
And look, Key and I are up, so
If we
We
look
ate
at
it.
your
Makes sense.
if we look at your resources, Kark has a D8's worth of food. Arlek has a D6. Key has a D8, and Leary has a D6. So I'd suggest that people who have a D6 should probably be eating.
Eat the they eat the horse meat. Yeah.
Yep.
And then, Harry and Ed, if you two of you give me
I'll
a
do mine,
D8
yeah.
roll. Just remember how there's like a way to
Trying to
roll it.
remember the formula. Oh, it's hang on.
I just typed it.
Eric remembered it.
Oh yeah, there we go. And we'll need water rolls from you as well.
Sucks. Okay, so I'm down water
Good.
and food. Oh,
And Charlotte, you're going to need to roll for water as well.
Yep. I'm out of water.
All right, you've used up your water. Okay.
No change.
So go
for
ahead.
me.
If any of these are changed on your, please change your character sheets as well.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so none of the food has been used up, but we've had 2 water reductions, so you'll probably want to forage for some water in the
Well,
near
actually, so when Lyric gets up, I'll give her a unit of my water.
future. Okay.
She'll have D6. I'll go
Yep.
down to D10.
Thank you.
All right. So you sleep through the night. There's nothing happens during your watch, and yeah, we move the clock forward to the next segment, which is going to be the nighttime now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Arlek wakes everyone up,
Yeah.
but stays awake himself. What do you want to do?
Feeling tired. Well, I'm gonna leave the scouting to the goblin.
This
Yeah.
is the night, right?
It's night
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
So we're going to move through the night.
No.
Okay.
You're sleeping.
you want me to go and look for water while I'm up, and everyone else is asleep?
No. No, we're good with water.
Okay.
So you want me to go scouting to do what?
No, I mean looking out for anything bad that wants to eat us.
all
Well,
right.
Yeah,
while
you've got
he
night. You've got
sleeps.
dark vision.
I do. Yeah. No.
Well, I'll sleep.
Yep.
So what's happening exactly?
I
I'm
have
sleeping.
absolutely no idea.
I think Kark is on guard duty.
Didn't you sleep
Yeah.
already?
No, he didn't.
No, I
Right.
didn't.
Right. Okay. All right.
Um,
Keeping watch and
so I'm
cooking
sleeping
both at
during
the
the
same
night, yeah.
time. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the question is, what's everyone else doing?
I think I'm just telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, possibly help provide watch.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, because we're kind of still close to the massacre site. If they had friends,
Yep.
they might come look in.
Do I get a gear bonus for scouting rolls now that I've got extra eyes?
No.
Let's
But
try.
definitely worth asking. Okay. Can you give me let's have Kark give me a scouting roll, please.
Okay. I succeed.
All right. You notice in the edge of the tree line, which is not too far away, probably we'll say something like, I don't know, 200 to 300 meters away. You can see something moving, and you kind of keep your eye on it for a little while, and you realize that it's an animal. It's like a fox. But you've seen plenty of foxes. You've seen plenty of wild animals before, and this one doesn't seem to be behaving as a fox normally would. And that's really all about the only thing you can really tell about it for now. You're kind of keeping your eye on it. It's kind of just hovering there, and it doesn't really seem to be coming any closer at the moment. It's just kind of keeping an eye on your camp. A little bit further into the night, you can hear the fox. The fox is still there. still kind of between these trees. And again, it's a bit too far away for you to make out too many details, but you think it's coming from the direction of this fox. You hear a strange song start up. It's a gravelly male voice, and you can't quite make out the words, but you think of it, puts you in the mind of your mind starts drifting into things like soil and holes and flowers and things like that, like a very earthy sort of thoughts come into your head. And yeah, it goes on for a little while.
Sounds very enjoyable.
Goes on for a little while. It's not unpleasant at all. And then it stops. And when it stops, the fox disappears back into the forest. All right.
Well, cool.
I'm not singing.
Weird.
I've just seen the chat.
Where'd Cock go anyway? Look around.
What was that? Sorry.
Oh, just saying, Arlek would be looking around from the fire, wondering where the goblin went.
I definitely haven't wandered off.
I mean, you will all have heard this song, by the way, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
Would I have any insight or like lore knowledge pertaining to this?
it never occurred to me to ask either. I'm glad you brought that up.
I don't think so.
Strange things in the
hold on.
Forbidden Lands.
Go
right,
ahead and
Lyria?
give me a lower roll.
Sure. So that's 5 base, 3 skill.
Jesus Christ! I need to always remember this when asking for a lower roll from you. And this is a passive
chances
roll,
are-
so you won't be able to push this one either. Oh wow.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you don't recall ever hearing anything about this fox.
Singing foxes.
Yeah. I think you're probably the only one I would allow a roll from in the party as well. It doesn't really make sense for anyone else. Yeah.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you what. I wish it'd keep singing, because I'm feeling pretty tired. That was a little soothing.
How many more
Almost.
days does Arlek have to go without sleep? At night?
What?
I thought it was only like a day or two.
No, it's a
It's
bit
for
more than
10 days.
Yeah.
So I guess it's 9 days now.
Well, hold on. It's not going without sleep. It's 10 days of not being able to sleep at night. So he can
Right.
sleep during daylight hours.
Okay.
He could have just slept, but
I was
Using,
fully
yeah.
prepared to, except for that Lyria decided to sleep and the goblin decided to show me an eye necklace. So
yeah. All right.
Fucking goblins.
So, what's the plan?
well,
The night passes. That's the only thing that happened in the night.
best keep moving. Maybe
Hey.
have a breakfast and
Did you two see
Yeah.
that weird fox?
I heard it.
heard something.
Well,
Yeah.
I saw a weird fox at the same time they was singing.
Hmm.
It looked
Yeah.
ordinary, but it behaved different.
How so?
Just kind of stood there.
Huh.
Foxes usually stand there for a short amount of time and then go away again.
Yeah.
Maybe throw a stone next time you see it.
Huh.
Fox pelt or
Yeah.
something.
Fox pelt. But I think it might be a ancient forest god.
Oh,
And I think we should probably leave it, peacefully alone, or the trees will come alive and kill us.
oh. Well, maybe
I've
don't
never
throw
heard
the
of
stone
that, but okay.
Yeah.
It always
I've
helps to
Err
just
on the
be
side of caution.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
After getting eaten by an octopus, I'll believe
Yeah, I
you about
imagine-
anything.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if we left it a little offering.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Maybe that's what we'll do tonight. We set up camp and we leave a little something out. See what happens.
Well, we're going that way anyway. So when we get to the tree line, we'll just leave it some fruit or something that we've got from or
Yeah.
a little bit of,
What do you think forest god's like?
bit of dried meat, maybe.
Maybe.
All right. So we're in the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's now the 36th of spring wane, so let me just add a little marker there with my G.
Spring wane. That's the worst month.
All right, and yeah, where do you want to go? Which direction do you want to head?
Yes, due west. Is that where we were going to go? Through the top part of the forest.
So
Yeah.
yeah, northwest would be like new territory, so we have to
Yeah.
lead the way. Southwest, we could go back to the pond and not lead the way, but
why do we want to go back to the pond?
yeah, I'm feeling that way too. I think we go northwest.
Okay.
Keep an idea where the lake is, sort of head out toward those mountains.
It'll let us get out of the forest a lot quicker,
I
possibly.
think job number 1 is probably find some water. Because I'm running low, and so is Lyria.
Well,
But if we head northwest, it'll head towards the water anyway.
yeah, we head out northwest. There's a big old lake.
There's
Alright.
bound to be streams in the forest anyway.
Shall I lead the way?
After you, Cuck.
Okie dokie.
All right. So northwest is the way you're heading. All right. We've got somebody leading the way. That's going to
I'll
be
be scouting.
Clark, giving me
Yep.
a lead the way roll.
Yeah, that's basically
survival.
a scouting role, pretty much.
Survival.
Oh no, survival is it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. And by the way, Pathfinder is the talent which modifies that. So if you might want to maybe think about taking that potentially, since you seem to be the one who's always leading the way.
Yeah.
And it did lead you to falling into quicksand last time.
Yeah. that wasn't ideal.
All right, you got a
I
success.
did
I
it.
was amused.
That's fine.
I'll keep watch.
Okay, so you move into the square, this next hex. Basically, it's morning time. The clouds were kind of rolling across the sky when you were waking up, and as you kind of make your way under the trees, it starts to rain, slowly picking up more and more until it's raining quite heavily. Yeah, you're in the forest. You're not like deep in the forest, but you're far enough into the forest that you're not directly out in the elements, and the tree cover is providing a little bit of shelter from the rain. But there, you're still getting a little bit damp with it. Okay, and also as you get into under the tree cover, because it's cloudy as well, it's a little bit darker than it perhaps normally would have been. Right, so that said, who is giving me a keep watch roll?
That'll be me.
Like your lookout.
Yep.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Two successes.
2 successes. You spot
It's my thing.
as you're hiking along, you spot the fox again. Or you spot a fox. You didn't see the fox actually previously.
Right.
So you spot a fox that basically is following you. Once you enter the
Okay.
tree, it's basically as you get into the tree line and you're kind of walking through and you're just kind of keeping an eye around you. It's keeping far enough back that you couldn't like shoot it with an arrow or something if you wanted to. It'd be quite like
wouldn't want to do
you'd
that.
find it really hard to do that anyway. But it's certainly kind of flitting between trees within sight.
And specifically following us. So,
You get the impression that it's following you, yeah.
okay.
And when you do, every time you do see it, you think that you make eye contact with it, and every time that you see it and make that eye contact, it disappears from view for 3 or 4 minutes, maybe a bit more, before
Okay.
it kind of comes back again. And you find yourself kind of watching for it regularly.
Right.
But literally every time that you make eye contact with it, it disappears again. But it readily comes back again.
Okay. I'll keep an eye on it.
Or
and
reliably, I should say. Yeah.
just, folks, the fox is following us. Just so you know.
I think your forest god is back, Kark.
Hey, Larry, you know stuff. Can you speak to foxes?
Not that I've ever tried, but
You want to give it a go? Ask it what it wants? You're an elf, you can do these things.
I guess.
Yeah. Everyone knows that elves can talk to animals.
Okay, well, I talked to the goblin and the humans.
Oh, you got me good.
Oh,
I'll have to keep an
Well.
eye on you.
yeah.
And Arlec's
yeah.
just gonna hang back with Greta and watch this.
Yeah, you four, you stay back. I don't need you.
I want to come with you.
No, you stay back.
No, I want to see the fox.
You can see the fox very well from there. Thank you very much.
Right?
I guess I'm going to try and approach the fox.
Okay. Are you trying to sneak up on it, or how are you attempting
No.
it? Okay.
No, just slowly, calmly, gently, not threatening at all. Kind of like my palms open at my sides, so...
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to require a roll for that. That's fine. The fox notices you approaching, and unlike how it reacted when Key saw it, was kind of making eye contact with it, the fox doesn't run away as it sees you approach. In fact, it sits down as if it's waiting for you.
Holy shit, lads, I was right. Elves can talk to
Yeah.
foxes.
What? You're a
This is
font of
something.
wisdom, cock.
And as
You
you
knew
get
it.
as you get closer, you see that it looks just like a normal fox, only that its eyes appear to contain more intelligence than you would expect to see from a dumb animal. Yeah. And as you get close enough that you're about let's say 10 meters away or so, yeah, 10 to 15 meters away, the fox kind of cocks its head, still looking like directly into your eyes, and then says, "How's it going?"
Well.
Well, the day was going pretty decent until a fox started to talk to me.
What do you reckon they're talking about?
You
In ginger.
you responsible
about the
for all
weather.
those dead bodies back there? It's mighty impressive.
More or less.
Mighty impressive.
Thank you.
So, what you lot doing around this forest? My forest,
We are just-
might I add.
Well,
And he gives you a sly wink.
I'm sorry if we appear to be trespassing. We're just on our way through to go chase down some information that we heard. We'll be out shortly. We won't bother the
Hold
forest
on.
itself.
Hold on a second. The fox stands up and approaches you, sniffing. Oh, you've got the smell of magic about you. Oh, you didn't happen to burn one of those bodies back there, did you? I would like to have seen that. Kind of sits down, after kind of circling around you, sits back down, turns to look at you again.
I don't make any mention, any affirmation that yes, that was me. Obviously, I don't think I need to, because...
Well, listen. Got any more food?
Would I have any scraps kind of left over?
The goblin has a necklace of eyeballs.
To say, Matt, I could not be happier with the way this has turned out.
Yeah.
What do I have for food? What's my dice at? D6?
Scraps of food, you're kind of out surviving, right? So you're rationing
I
your
was
food
thinking,
out quite tightly, I think, is the idea.
Yeah,
so.
I was thinking a piece of horse meat kind of saved from the night before or something, just for the travels to snack on or some shit like that.
Okay, so you're going to share your rations with it?
Yeah, I'll roll for that.
Yep.
Alright, it's D6 food.
All right.
Yeah.
Drama.
All right.
I figure it's a small price to pay for safe passage through your forest.
The fox, like when you offer some of your food, the fox kind of prances up onto its feet and it kind of like does a little dance from foot to foot, getting really excited. Oh yeah, it smells good. Come on, give it to me. And when you throw it to him, he kind of like catches it in the air and kind of eats it really noisily. Oh, that's good stuff. Well, don't let me hold you up.
Is there anything that we can do for you while we're here, or...
Don't shoot any fucking arrows at me like the last band of ne'er-do-wells I tried to talk to.
I will guarantee that I will not shoot any arrows at you, and if any of my party do, you're welcome to have your revenge.
Nice. I will. Don't you worry. Now, one other thing. If you come across anybody, please, don't hesitate to kill him.
Like anybody in particular, or...
No, just anyone. Just not me, of course, but anyone else. Fair game.
Okay, so now, when you say not you, how are you talking?
How am I talking? Opening my mouth.
Are you a fox? Are you a druid? Are you a shapeshifter?
I'm a fox, can't you tell?
And a very fine fox you are, yes. But
Never-
in my experience, foxes don't talk.
I'm a special fox.
That you are.
Anyway,
Alright.
he gets up and kind of stretches a little bit. And he trots off into the trees without saying another word. Until he just kind of is about to disappear from view and he turns around, looks at you, and gives you another wink. That's it, and then he's gone.
I'll stand there for another minute or two and kind of watch where he disappeared into, and then kind of slowly turn around and walk back to the group.
Oh, now that's one of the queerest things I've ever seen.
Well, they have been close enough to hear what went on.
They'll
Sounds
have
like
been
we were
close
quite
enough.
distance away.
They'll have been close enough to maybe have heard a snatch. The fox wasn't like whispering, so they would have been able to probably have heard that it was talking to you.
But not so much the content.
Hey,
I
Larry,
don't
what'd you
assume
talk
that
to the
I
fox
did.
about?
Sorry, I was just looking at the chat. A 20th century fox. Oh god.
What did the fox say?
To make sure we don't shoot any arrows at him.
Is that another pun, or is that completely unintentional? Have I the only one who got that?
I listened
Oh,
to
no,
that
I-
song
I-
recently, and I forgot that it's an absolute banger.
What does the fox say? Indeed, yes. Okay.
Yeah. As
This
somebody
guy on
who's,
YouTube did a metal cover of that, and it was pretty great.
Okay. Cool.
as
Anyway,
somebody who uses Foxfire as their internet handle, yeah, the fox puns.
Yeah, you've heard it before.
Yeah, I would kind of give a bit of a rundown as to what we discussed about not shooting arrows at him. I would leave out the statement that I said, if that they do shoot arrows at him, that he's free to take his vengeance.
And also that it's just invited us to kill anyone we come across in the forest.
Yeah, pretty much.
You leave that out, or you tell us that?
I would tell you that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I guess we've got free reign to I guess,
Murder and plunder.
defend the forest.
Yeah.
Aren't foxes meant to be sly and sneaky and trickstery? So
Typically,
This is no typical fox thing.
Yeah, I mean, as well as being able to talk, it might also be unusually forthright.
yeah, that's true, Cock.
So it seems.
Look, I was right about elves being able to talk to animals.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll concede that. I don't know much about elves, so.
Must be that
And I was
magic
right about
stuff.
it being a special fox.
well, with any luck, we'll be out of this forest in no time, and we can put it behind us, and we won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, well, I
Like
don't
this
know.
forest. It's nice.
okay.
I have the feeling we'll see that fox again.
So you have. I can't duplicate from this view, so that's fine. You've marched through another hex. It's now daytime.
Mhm.
Yeah. Where do you want to go next?
Continue to the northwest.
So out of the forest, you're just kind of passing through this one little
Yeah,
peninsular bit.
that was the plan.
Well, I mean, our goblin was worried about water, so I think we head up at the lake.
Yeah.
Okay.
So northwest again, so that we are on the edge of the lake, towards the northern
Does
shore.
anyone else want to do the scouting roll this time?
I mean, I'm not leading the way, so you guys choose.
I mean, I'm easy with whoever wants to do it.
Unless you want a guaranteed mishap, then I can give you that. If you want to spice things up, let Arlick lead the way.
I can lead the way if you want.
Ah, screw it. I've already got the formula saved in my
God.
clipboard. Hey, that turned out well.
Right.
Yeah, it's a very good roll. Yeah, so no more, you don't get another mishap as you leave the forest. As you're leaving the forest, because it's still technically the old hex, Key, you do see that the fox is still trailing you. It's a little bit further back within the trees than it was before, but yeah, still kind of trailing you. And now every time you look at it, when you make eye contact, every now and again it gives you a wink back.
Goddamn foxes. Well, I'm glad that not everything in this game is utterly, unrelentingly hostile.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Yeah, I'm happy to ignore the fox now. I'm happy for it to just do its usual thing. So
It's fox business.
it's fox business.
You know, eating
Yep.
mice.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
wow,
Wow, what a roll. I just saw that.
yeah. So you're in the new hex. Do you want to give me another scouting roll, Key?
Not a problem.
It's still raining, by the way. So as you leave the cover of the trees, you're now, going to be getting very wet. We're talking. It's not like a windy storm that's pulling trees down or anything like that, but it's a very, very heavy, steady rainfall.
Yeah.
This is not fully ideal.
We'll need to look for some shelter before the night comes.
Yeah,
We're gonna
and
freeze our asses off if we don't get dry.
so as you're kind of leaving the forest's edge there, because of the cloud cover and the rain, you can't actually kind of see what's on this map. Like you can't see the edge of the lake. You can't see that river. You're basically just kind of seeing what's around you. And the success on the scouting rolls while you're in this entire hex. Remember, you can pass through these type of hexes. 2 hexes in one segment of day.
Yep.
But what's the plan? Are you gonna head to the lake? You're gonna head to the river?
Probably head across to the river because I think I can see. I guess the tree line will probably keep going towards the river itself. So that's the kind of way to kind of go, and then we can still use some of the trees and stuff, or copses of trees as cover if we need to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe we get to the river and Key, you can try out that fishing line I got you.
We've got some. There must be some streamlets or something, little sources of water. If we want to stop and refill it. All right, fair enough. Yeah, thank you for the enthusiastic.
It's a harvesting roll, one way or the other.
Yeah. We'll just keep going west until we hit that river.
Right. So you keep going. You're trudging again through, heavy rain, and you eventually come to the river. And the river is basically it's coming from the lake, so that's like the source, and it's flowing off to the south.
Okay.
And it's pretty wide. You imagine that if you try to you know, it's not like, it doesn't look like a ford that you can see anywhere. It just looks like a wide river feeding out of this lake, probably quite deep in the middle.
Now, typically rivers don't flow into mountains; they flow out of mountains. So would the river not be flowing towards the lake itself?
Nope, it's not flowing towards the lake. It's flowing away from the lake. You can see you can't see anything because of the cloud cover.
Yeah, fine.
That's fair enough.
But you would have been told that there are mountains off to the, I guess, to the northwest of the lake.
Yeah.
Or to the west of the lake. So there's probably runoff from the mountains feeding into the lake, and then this river is kind of coming out of that. If that makes any sense.
Absolutely none whatsoever.
Well, we found our river, so
What do you mean it makes no sense? There's mountains to your northwest. That's the source of water, and it's flowing away from the mountains.
Are you sincerely telling me that in Canada there are absolutely no bodies of water above sea level?
You're
I'm
looking
saying
further. You're looking further along the map. Yeah, I didn't look further along from the map.
Yeah.
I'm
I was just
guessing
not
that
going to
off-
argue the point.
I was going to say I'm guessing through the mountains there must be like a big depression, but you actually have got an excellent point now that I'm actually looking at the
Yeah.
edge.
So
of
if
the map.
we, this is why Charlotte's bringing it up. If we zoom out, look at where the river's coming from. So that's
Yeah,
not bad.
this is like meta knowledge, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it does look
the
like the
river is-
lowest point is probably the Far East.
The river is flowing. Ignore what I just said. Yes, you're right. The river is flowing into the lake, not the other way around.
This river, anyway.
Yeah,
I'm going
so
to say that
this
to the
river-
west is like high upland or something.
be a
that
little
would
bit more
make sense.
confident drinking this water, knowing that it's going into the lake and not out of the lake.
Yeah.
River water is half decent. Lake water is not.
Yeah.
All right.
So, what's the plan?
Well,
Well, at some point we want to try and cross the river, but I think we should probably camp out near the river first for a bit
Yeah.
and try and figure out what the hell we're doing.
no. Maybe a couple of us start looking for some shelter, and maybe Key can pull some fish out of that river.
I'll see if I can do some fishing and can fill up your canteens and stuff.
Brown trout, brown trout,
I'll see what I can find. I can't guarantee anything.
brown trout.
Okay. So
Not a
you're,
euphemism.
you're making
I mean
camp.
fish.
You're making camp in the pouring rain.
It's super fucking miserable, I assume.
Maybe
So-
there's some hillock or some ruin we can find shelter in with a good survival roll.
I figure that.
I mean, that's basically what your make camp is gonna determine, right? I'm gonna say because of the wet, I'm going to put a -1 penalty on the roll for whoever does a make camp roll.
Here's my tent again.
Really should have skinned all those dudes and made a tent. If we stay here long enough, I think we can probably hunt and make enough leather to, you know, make some tents for us all, and that should make life easier.
Okay, so who's making the roll then for the make camp? Like, what are you all doing now, basically?
I'm gonna go and do some fishing and fill up the canteens from the river.
Yep. So by
our
doing
list
that, you
being
can
useless.
everybody can basically drink for free today, without having to roll
Yep.
anything, and you will all get full canteens.
Yep.
So D12 in water from filling them at the river.
Yep.
What canteens? I mean water skins, of course, being a fantasy
Yeah.
game. Okay, so we'll take a fishing roll from you in a second. Let me just hear what everybody wants to do first. So who's setting up camp first? Who's making camp?
I'll help setting up camp. Whomever is doing it.
Yeah, we could follow the same pattern as before.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So you get the 3 gear dice. Your one help dice is going to be cancelled by the difficulty, so there won't be any red dice, no skill dice. But otherwise, yeah, that'd be the same roll, which cannot be pushed again. So,
So we said 3 gear dice, right?
is it just? Hold on. Is it just Arlek who's helping, or what's Kark doing?
Can I help as well? Can
Yeah,
more than one
that'll
person
be.
help?
You can get up to +3 with 3 people helping. So
Oh, in that case I should help too, because otherwise I have nothing else to do.
yeah,
You could scout.
so- you could
I mean,
scout.
I could, but what would be the point? I thought we'd already done this hex.
You haven't done this hex. You're in a new hex.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, in that
But
case, maybe
we
I will
kind
go
of need
take a
to
look
camp,
at.
so it might be better to help anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Taking a look around would take a quarter day just as much as setting up the camp.
Okay, so I've got my base 5.
Yep.
Any skill from helpers?
One skill.
Yep, I'll help as well.
Yeah.
So you'll be getting 2. This would normally be 2 help dice, and then you reduce 1 from the penalty with the rain. So
Okay, and then gear.
3 gear. Okay, interesting. All right, so you do the best that you can do with setting up a camp. Who's going to be trying to rest? I'll roll for the mishap.
Well, so when evening comes, yeah.
It's
Arlec's
basically
gonna
it's
pass
going to
out.
be evening now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Arlec's passing out. He's tired. It's not dark yet.
No,
Actually, I guess maybe it is. It's spring.
it's not
so...
night. Yeah, but it's no, but it's I don't think spring has any difference with summer.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Let me just check that. I'm pretty sure it's only got.
It's late spring.
Light and darkness. In the spring, it's light in the morning, light in the daytime, dark at evening, and dark at nighttime. You're right.
Right.
Yeah. So,
So-
evening it will be dark when you'd be wanting to sleep. So you,
Yeah. So at some point, Arlec's gonna pass out. If not now because it's dark, then in the morning.
it'll be in the morning.
Yep. So he's staying up.
Yep. So you reduce. No, that's fine. We'll keep it.
Yep. No, just keep it for now.
What's your wits is at 1 right now, right?
Yep.
You are at your wit's end.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So
Come
you're
tomorrow. I'm out.
okay. So that's kind of meta knowledge. You're probably super tired anyway.
Yeah.
On the verge of collapsing.
Yeah.
So if you're going to try and do anything today, I'm probably going to impose a penalty on it. Just a heads up.
Yeah. I don't think I'm doing much. I think he's just staring at the fire like a zombie once it starts
Okay.
going.
I like
Not
it.
Doing well at all.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What are the rest of you doing? Who's keeping watch? Who's sleeping in the evening? Are you sleeping in the evening? Are you doing anything else? Oh, we haven't done the fishing roll yet for Key, so we'll do that.
Yeah. Let's do
You're
that.
good.
It's a survival roll.
Nothing for me.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, Key tries to go fishing. I think you actually might even need a fishing line to go fishing, but
I
He
do
has
have a
one.
fishing line. Yep.
there we go. So all good.
I suffer a mishap apparently.
Okay. All right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
He had a fishing line.
Who knows what could have happened? Do you want me to roll for the mishap?
No, I'll do it. I wanna
Sorry,
do-
I have more willpower. There's more where that came from.
Can I push it?
Your
No, I
hook.
won't push it.
Your hook snags on the bottom of the river.
Right.
As you're casting it, because of the rain, it's kind of hard to direct it exactly where you want to direct it because it's kind of getting pelted by
Yep.
drops as you're throwing it out. So it eventually it doesn't go out quite as far as you want. It kind of gets snagged on something, not quite in the shallows, like too close to you, but not as far as you would
Right.
normally want to throw it. So you're gonna have to make a might test to retrieve it.
Okay.
And
no
you can
problem.
definitely, if you don't, you're going to lose your fishing line. And you can push
Right,
this.
okay.
You can push this one.
Okay. Let's see what happens.
How strong are you? Oh man.
Do you want to push
Right,
it?
push it.
You'll get a willpower point as well.
Yeah. Why not? We'll push it.
Do it.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
Absolutely.
Oh!
Oh sh!
Fucking hell. Well, you get your
And he got
line.
it.
You got your line back. You get 3 willpower points for that.
But then I kind
doodle
of fall
do.
back, and I probably end up grabbing it, falling back, hitting myself on a rock, smacking my elbow, and scratching up my
we'll
knees.
say it's rocky near the river, right? And you're desperate to get this out without breaking it, and you just can't get it free. So you take your shoes off and you go kind of into the shallows to get closer to it. And the rocks are slippery, the rocks are sharp, and you lose your footing, but manage to get it out. and like when it tugs free, you kind of like lose your balance, and you fall really hard, really badly. Not quite getting yourself a critical injury, but you're banged up pretty bad. You're completely soaking wet, but you still have your fishing line.
Hooray!
And you get 3 willpower points.
Hooray!
And
Okay.
you come back to camp, and Arlec's like,
Not happy at all. Fucking
what the hell
fuck.
happened to you?
Bleeding from a
I'm
contusion
wet,
on the scalp.
I'm bleeding. I'm kind of like scuffed up. I'm just like, I'm just throwing my stuff all over the place.
Just come down next to the fire. Just come down next to the fire.
You keep mentioning a fire. It's pouring it with rain. You
There's
failed.
no
Well,
fire.
we clearly found a place. I'm sure it's gonna be no problems whatsoever.
Okay, I've rolled for the mishap for that too, for the make camp.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I mean, unless one of you can make a successful survival roll to make a fire, with I'm gonna give it -2 difficulty.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
We'll need to
Otherwise,
cover.
I'm just hiding under a blanket.
Yeah, I got, let's see, wits 3, survival 2.
And this is going to be an ongoing thing that you'll be doing. And I'm kind of allowing this because we're moving it into the next quarter, and you only traveled like half of a quarter to like where you were. So we have a little bit of extra time to deal with. So
we could put like a
holy shit.
one of
Okay.
The dice bot likes me today.
Oh my god.
put a blanket up, and kind of put the fire underneath the blanket.
Well, you get a fire going. You get a roaring fire going. That's so hot that you don't like. You're not even worried about the rain necessarily putting it out because it's been.
The secret is to dig a pit which is higher in the middle than it is around the edges.
Okay.
That was a good idea, Kark.
Learn a lot of things when you're raised by crows.
Crows make a lot of fire.
In
Okay, so
Forbidden Lands, they do.
You do have a fire, and
Pyro crow.
you do have a fire, but the campsite isn't particularly good. And you're kind of nearish to the river because you wanted to fill your canteen. You wanted to go fishing, and you didn't want to be like too far away from it. And you kind of the ground was like grown over with plant life, but it's pretty rocky and uneven. And yeah, it is what it is. So we're kind of finishing with the with this making camp and everything. The evening is coming to a close. We're moving into the next segment. Who's going to be? We're like in the night segment now. Who's going to be doing what? Who's sleeping?
I'll keep an eye out.
I would very much like to sleep.
Yep.
Yeah, Key should sleep for sure.
I'll crawl into my tent.
We haven't done food yet either. So water's done, but food needs to be rolled for too.
Yeah, I'll do that. And
let's do that
Arlek
before you
will
sleep.
stay up and be a scout.
All right. Who else is sleeping?
Yeah.
I'll sleep.
Now, Greta, if you hear anything, let me know. Because I'm not feeling very sharp.
Okay, so food situation is fine. All right. So remind me again, who's sleeping?
Yep.
Me.
Definitely me.
Lyria and Key. Okay. The night passes. You are tossing and turning the whole night, and unfortunately, you don't get any sleep.
Ow.
Okay.
No.
So that
passes-
means Key doesn't heal or anything.
Nope.
Nope.
So,
Does that make me sleepy as well?
it will make you sleepy now. Yeah.
Okay.
Bloody
Move that
Mary.
across to you. Okay. So, that's the night segment done. We're now getting into the morning. What do you? As we get into the morning, your wit is broken. You collapse. And even though technically you have a camp which is rubbish, you're going to be sleeping on the hard ground. And I'm going to say this is kind of an unusual one, right? Because you're not supposed to be able to sleep in the camp that you've made because of the mishap. But you're basically passed out. So you're going to be recovering your wits from this anyway. But I want there to be maybe I want all of you going to take the cold condition, regardless, I think.
Goody, we're doing well here.
Because even though you've made a fire, you made a bad camp, and we're gonna say that, like huddling close to the fire gives you some temporary relief, but it's not drying your clothes out or anything.
All right.
So you've all got the cold condition. Yeah. And Arlek, I think I'm gonna give you a point of damage of something. Any ideas?
Empathy. I'm probably pretty grumpy.
Yeah. That works. Yeah. So you sleep through the morning segment. What are people doing while Arlek is passed out? Yeah.
Probably sitting around bitching.
All right. It's still raining, by the way. It rained through the night. It's still raining right now. And if anything, it seems like the rain might be picking up in intensity a little bit.
Fucking hell.
And as the morning wears on, in fact,
Right.
you do hear a bit of a
Can we try and
rumble in the
repitch
distance.
this bloody camp? It's obviously not. We're not getting it. It's not cheering up anytime soon, and
No.
unless we're dragging our leg, we're not going anywhere anytime soon.
You can carry me out of here.
Yeah, we could if you weren't such a giant fat bastard.
You could definitely
Throw
try
me
to.
over-
You can
throw me
definitely
over
try.
Greta and
You can try and make a new camp in the same hex. It's gonna take you a quarter day to do it. So, and then you're gonna just need to sleep after it. So, up to you.
We could go a little bit to the south and go into the tree line. and we'll be
Technically,
able
have to spend a quarter day kind of traveling into it.
Hmm.
And Arlek's sleeping right now, so you'd have to
Well,
leave him
on the
behind.
map, there's like 2 or 3 trees on that. Would that be like small copses of trees?
I don't know if it represents anything.
I mean, we can say that you like if you're gonna look around, you can definitely find another place that's suitable, and yeah, I mean,
Because we're going to have to try and find a
You're
place
gonna-
to cross the river. So we
Yeah,
might
like
as
a
well go
new-
south.
a new make camp roll. I think makes sense. Or go south. Yeah.
I mean, Key, you've got 1 strength left, right? So
Yeah, I'm
sleeping
not
is
feeling
probably...
my best, so I don't want to go too far.
He is comatose and you're bashed up. I actually think that sticking where we are is fine for now.
But it's a shit camp.
Yes,
Well,
it is,
actually,
and we can try and do it better.
So here's some horrible news. Getting cold would have broken Key. Because that's strength and wits
Oh, yeah.
damage.
Oh, okay. Excellent. I'm broken.
So he's probably dead, actually.
Right, that's very true. Being cold will have done that. So
Okay.
But-
So we have to warm him up, or we're in some serious trouble.
we could say that like you get bashed up. You're taken back to the camp, and you're kind of like drifting in and out of consciousness. Also not having slept. So yeah, we're gonna have to kind of
He's
So
all
I don't-
buggered up.
we'll ignore
I
we'll
don't
ignore
actually
that.
get up in the morning. Okay.
Yeah, in the morning you don't get up. So let's play it like that,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, makes sense. I go to
I'm
sleep
just looking up.
less.
I'm just looking up the
Hey, Matt.
non-typical. Yeah.
Matt, check the video.
Charlotte has words.
Yeah.
She's trying to tell us something.
Yeah. Yep.
Can I heal him?
Yeah. If you
I have healing.
you can heal if someone's broken, I believe. So yeah. Let me just hold on a second.
Ray, warm me up.
My my PDF reader has crashed, so I'm gonna have to pull out the paper book. You're gonna heal him with a heal roll, right? Not with magic, because you're not a druid.
Correct.
Wrong type of magic, right?
I do
Maybe the
have
right
a
type
blanket.
of magic, depending on how badly it goes.
Matt, if this helps, I do actually have a blanket.
I mean,
It does seem like a gear that would help.
Yeah, we never actually made an endurance roll against the cold.
That's fine.
I mean, here's the idea is that you've got a tent and you've got a blanket and everything. But you were cold.
That's fine. That's cool.
I'm just looking up healing. Give me a second. It's under skill, isn't it? Skills chapter.
Okay, so I've got to make one more endurance roll in the same interval with the same effect, or you fail. And if you fail, you die.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but you can definitely be attempted.
Sucks.
There's definitely a heal attempt that can be made. This can be pushed, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. So however many successes you get on your healing roll, Charlotte, will give him that number of strength back, and you can push this.
And if the rest of you make camp and you get me warm, then that automatically gets rid of cold.
Yeah, you can't recover strength while you're cold. So.
No.
So healing is
Okay, so-
empathy.
Yep.
So you get the 3 empathy dice plus a 2 for healing. And do you have any gear that can help? No.
I don't think so.
No.
That went south really quick.
Okay, skill 2.
Mm-hmm. You gonna push that?
Yeah.
Good luck. Okay.
You're gonna hurt yourself trying to get
You
his
do
stat
get
warm.
two more willpower for that though. Your empathy drops down to 1, so you take 2 empathy damage.
Okay, so there's that. Now, how does the healing work for him? Like,
You're basically tending to him, right? So you're trying. We'll say because he's cold and he's like battered a bit. You're basically just kind of like, like trying to get him dry within his tent, which is leaking. Yeah. So you're basically you're just basically giving him attention. He didn't really ask for it last night when he was like, all hurt and everything, and just didn't wake up in the morning and he just feels really, really cold. So you're healing. You've managed to bring him back from the verge of death. By getting him warm again, and he kind of regains consciousness.
then I will direct the other 2 to go grab as much wood as possible.
Yep.
All right. I wanted to repitch the camp, but fair.
Well, yeah, we can't really move him while he's like this.
Well,
Yes.
Arlek is also passed out.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right. So
So
I
while
guess
you're seeing to him, Arlek is kind of you've kind of ignored Arlek, and Arlek is just basically like he was staring at the fire before, and when you come out of the tent, like get firewood, you notice that Arlek is not responding.
Just slumped over against the staff with like a blanket over his shoulders.
Now, is the fire out or?
No,
Fine.
we could say the
It
fire.
shouldn't be.
The fire should still be fine. With the 3 successes on it, I'm happy for that fire to be burning through the night. You've got enough fire for it, wood for it, etc. That you've managed to keep a little bit dry.
Okay, so then we should not have to worry about the cold condition now, or?
No, you're all still going to be cold. So as I've said before, the fire like while you're huddling near the fire, you won't be cold, but you're still very wet. So as soon as you move away from the fire, you're going to be cold again.
Okay, so since I am now
The idea
grumpy.
here is that you need to make a successful camp because you've made a bad camp. So the idea here is that
Right.
you need to make a successful camp if you want to get dry and get out of the not be cold anymore.
Now, would we have to actually like move to a different location to try and redo camp,
No,
or?
you just need to spend a quarter day to do it.
That's right. That's what I've been saying.
Okay, so then
We just repitch it on the same site without moving. Take a quarter day.
yeah, get some more wood for the fire, find better area, try and get us off the ground.
Yeah.
Hey, let's move to higher ground. Right, so that's a survival roll then, is it? Illyria, are you able to help me?
Yeah, I can help you.
Yeah, so
Okay,
the healing roll wouldn't have taken like a full quarter or anything like that. That was basically you just tending to him. So yeah, the 2 of you can help. Arlek's out of it. Technically, Key can help as well. Now he's awake.
Oh, good.
You've
Could probably
also
do with some
got
help making this.
you've
You
also got
have
the
my
cold
tent.
condition, which means
Tent. It's okay. That gives me gear.
Gives you 2 gear for the tent.
Gear too. Okay, that's great.
I think I'm kind of slightly missing the actual rules here for the cold because I think you have to make some endurance rolls.
You do, yeah.
Okay. Well, we've got 2 successes. So I think that is tent and camp made much better.
Oh, amazing. Always trust the goblin.
So, well, the secret is you want to get a bunch of dry pine needles and stick them in your trousers.
You would have had a -1 for your skill dice, just a heads up. For this was your make camp roll, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But that's fine because none of your skill dice came up with successes anyway, so that's all good. Yeah, you find a much better spot. We could say that you actually discover a copse of trees that you didn't see previously because you weren't looking around that much. You were just trying to pitch a tent fairly quickly. Now you're looking for a good spot. You find a good spot, a good copse of trees where you can kind of spend a little bit of time like chopping down some of the branches and trying to make a little bit of shelter from the rain, etc. A good place to pitch the tent, make a fire that's out of the rain, etc. And yeah, you've made a much better camp.
Thank you, Kark.
And yeah, we're gonna. So
I'd have to live with all these other bastards alone if you died.
I've been hand waving the cold condition here. I should have been requiring. We're gonna stick with what we've had already, not go back on it because I think that's kind of fun. But in future, you actually make an endurance roll, and if you fail that endurance roll, you take on the cold condition. So we're gonna say for now that yeah, and I would have given you some pretty hefty penalties anyway for not having a good camp, etc. So that's how we probably should have done it initially. But so far, it's really only affected Key. I haven't had any of you remove any strength or wits, have any strength or wits damage. But yeah.
Well, I noted it, but
it probably would have been worse.
We've got a
Probably
new
wouldn't
camp,
have been
right?
worse if I'd been damaged. Yeah.
And Arlick, why don't you actually, because you've been sleeping out in the rain, why don't you actually give me an endurance roll and you get 1 gear for your blanket?
Yeah.
Chances are it'll completely save you.
Right.
This is determined like whether you're actually cold or not. While you
I think actually. Oh no, I don't.
Do you have endurance?
I don't. I thought I might.
Oh no.
And I'm already damaged because I'm cold. So.
And this is definitely not one that you can push. This is a passive roll.
Oh,
Okay.
we're good. Don't worry about it.
So you're not actually cold. You like having this blanket draped over you is enough, and because you're kind of close to this fire, which is still blazing, it's enough to keep you warm enough that you don't take the cold condition. Okay.
Oh, well, I'd already taken it, so I made it with a penalty. That's fine. We're good.
You're fine.
All right, so I wake up. I'm like, good. They have a nice new camp and I'm warm.
Not where you are, but yeah.
Well, I didn't get cold, so.
Yeah, that's something.
I think once we've got it set up, it is reasonable to suppose that we might go and drag his unconscious arse over to our camp.
I'd hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, just be like, ugh.
I'm pretty sure you can put him on the back of Greta and do that.
Yeah. All right.
Just
So
tie him on.
I wake up.
So you don't
and
even
we're
have
on a
any.
different-
Yeah, you don't even have any. Well, no, they're pitching the camp while you're sleeping in that quarter day, right? So
All right.
the idea is that you haven't had a restful sleep still because of what you haven't
Okay.
slept properly. So we're gonna keep that 1 empathy damage on you.
All right.
But you
We'll
get your
keep that
wits.
one.
You get your wits back.
All right.
You're no longer sleepless.
And we're in a different camp. And I'll look around. Like,
But who is sleepless right now, by the way?
Yeah, I'm sleepless.
I think I would be.
I think we all
everyone
are.
but me.
We all are. Yeah. Everyone but it's a strange turnaround of events.
Yeah. So you each take when the morning broke, you each took a wits damage.
Yeah.
And that technically would have affected
Yeah.
the oh no, it was empathy roll for healing, so that wouldn't have affected it. So we're all
That
good.
was a make camp roll. It would have affected.
Oh yeah, and there was 2. Anyway, it's fine because there was more than 1 on the
There was more
attribute
than
dice,
one,
so
yeah.
it was only 1 was needed. Right. What do you think? So this is going in a much different direction than I thought it was going to go. We've got half an hour left on the stream.
Where the hell are we?
3 of you are
Survive.
sleepless. 3 of you are sleepless, or
Yeah.
sleepy. So what are you doing for? You're now in the daytime phase.
Sleep.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
Stay
sleeping
warm.
getting warm, recovering lost strength for some of us.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how are we doing with food?
I'm all right,
All right.
Okay for food.
and we did get a
All right.
fish.
We didn't get a fish.
We didn't get
Oh.
any. All right. So here's what's gonna happen. All right, these he's gonna rest, right? It's daytime, right?
Yeah. Still raining.
Morning.
As I said, like there's even a bit of thunder, or like
Nice.
thunder rumbling in the distance.
But we have our camp, so we can
Yeah.
always go back and warm up.
I'm in my tent with a blanket and sleeping. I'm happy.
Yeah.
We need it so badly.
I don't know. It depends on what Lyria and Kark are doing, but maybe Arlek will go out and try and catch some fish this time.
So no keeping watch.
I think
If everyone else.
we do actually
if
still
the
have to
others are
keep watch,
sleeping,
don't we? So I'll forego sleeping for this quarter, and next quarter I can sleep.
All right.
Okay. All right. So we have a plan. Arlek, why don't you roll for
Are
what
you
do
guys ready for this?
for your foraging, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fishing.
Oh, you're fishing with what? Are you using a line?
I'll take the one that I gave P.
All right. I mean, you could try and get another one out of your pack of many splendors.
Yeah, but I figure I have this one. Might
Alright.
use it.
The one you gave Key would have been wrecked, wouldn't it? Since he
No,
failed
no.
his.
No, I
he
got it out.
He succeeded, but he got three. He pushed the roll and got 3 skulls.
I mean, I'm not exactly good at this, though. Oh!
Nice.
Oh no!
Right,
That's
you get
what you
some
want.
fish.
Nice.
Let me just look that up.
All
really
right.
quickly. Actually, I've got it all here. Journey.
Oh, I'll never hear the end of it.
All right. That's
You
how
have
we
2
do it.
fish. You have 2 fish.
Success. Yeah, it means catch number equal to the number of successes you rolled.
Ugh.
All right, so
Okay.
I come back. I have a couple whitefish.
You've
And,
taken the chef
I'm
talent,
like-
haven't you?
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I figure we'll just cook them over the fire and eat them today. So I don't have to make a resource roll today, or at least 2 of us don't.
Yeah, but if you cook them, you make them into resources, which become dice that you roll anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can only cook as many units as you have, right?
But it means that your D6 will go to a D8.
Yeah, that's
Well-
right. Let's do that.
I mean, it
All
makes
right,
more
so
sense.
I'm
It makes
gonna- I'm
always
gonna
makes
cook
more
these
sense
bad
to
boys
cook them.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But
I'm
that's
gonna bring back,
but
start
you need
cooking
to,
them up.
you need to stop there because you're spending the whole quarter day fishing, and when there's something,
Oh, yeah, the
something's
next
gonna
quarter
happen. Something is going to happen while you're catching your 2 fish.
I come back with some fish.
Yeah. So
That's
back at the camp while Arlek is away. Kark, why don't you give me a scouting roll, please?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
shit.
you're gonna get a -1 penalty because of the rain, because visibilities.
And do I still have wits damage as well?
You have 1 wits damage from being
Okay, so I've
sleepy.
got base 2, skill 2, but -1 because of the rain. So base 2, skill 1.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Fuck. Sick.
You can't push this either,
Bollocks.
because it's passive. Okay. You are you're like camp is being made, but you're sleepy, you're grumpy, you're at like kind of paying a lot of attention to the fire, and then like looking around every now and again. And at one point, you look around, and standing right over you is a person wearing a very, very heavy cloak with the hood pulled up. And as you notice the person, just like as you're like you kind of get startled by them being so close to you, the figure holds a hand up and says, "Peace." It's actually a woman's voice. Sorry. "Peace. I come in peace. Please do not be afraid. May I speak with you?"
Me?
Well,
Me personally?
your companions appear to be sleeping, so I don't wish to wake them.
Ooh.
You all seem to have seen better days. I think sleep is probably good for them, but sleep would be good for you too. May I sit and speak with you? She takes her other hand out of her cloak and kind of holds both of her hands up to show you that she's not armed.
Cloak. Show
Sorry.
us your belt.
Ah, yes, you can never be too careful. She kind of opens her cloak up, and she's wearing green clothes, and as she kind of opens it up, she also takes her hood off, and she's quite unmistakably an elf. And she has a sword on her hip. But other than that, she's not got like anything else that you can see in terms of like weapons or anything. You don't probably need to make a lore roll, but you can tell from her garb that she is probably a druid.
You come in peace with a big old sword like that.
I'm gonna take that back. She's not wearing a sword. She's wearing she has like a sickle.
I guess that's more of a tool.
Yeah, like what a druid would have. I mean, it could be used
Rather
to
less
cause
suspicious.
damage. Yeah, apologies. She'll have like a dagger too. She'll have a dagger as well, but more like a
Okay,
a
but it's
knife. Yeah.
less obviously warlike. So that's all.
You
so that
definitely
makes
do
much
not,
more
as
sense.
a fighter, you definitely don't get any kind of vibes that this is a trained warrior. I mean, it could be like an assassin or something, of course, but
Could be.
yeah.
Then who would want to assassinate me?
She sees you looking at her scythe and her dagger, and she very slowly takes one off and places it on the floor, and then takes the other one off and places it on the floor, and then walks across to the other side of the fire, still holding her hands up, and says, "May I sit?"
Go ahead. You're an elf.
Very perceptive
and
of you.
My guess
You are a
is
goblin.
you're. I am.
She sits down and says, "I am in need of assistance, and I've been watching you since yesterday, and while you might not be the best assistance I could hope for, you're the only people I've seen for a while. I have
Have you ever heard of negging?
Well, I witnessed your rather strong friend here trying rather unsuccessfully to catch some fish in the river. It was quite comical to watch, but not for him, of course. Anyway. I'm here to offer you a proposal." And she reaches into a pocket and pulls out a gem. What looks like a red ruby. And it's big. It's like the size of a golf ball, let's say. And it's set into a clasp. What looks like a golden clasp. Do I have your attention?
You do.
Not far from here, there is a place. It used to belong to the elves, but recently has been... Yes, it is occupied now by orcs. And by one specific orc named Haraka. He is the leader of the clan in these parts, the orc clan in these parts, and he's a rather ambitious person. I was going to say man. I'm not sure if an elf would refer to an orc as a man, but anyway. And he is wanting to set himself up as the emperor of all of the orcs, of all of the orcish clans. And he's taken to calling himself Haraka the First and the Greatest. Rather absurd, really, but there we are. Anyway, all of this background is probably a little bit by the by. What is really important is that his spouse has been given a clasp, a cloak with a clasp on it that looks exactly like this. She holds it up. I don't know how he's got his hand on this ruby or this clasp, but it is extremely important to the elves, to my people, and we desperately want it back. Now, as you might be able to tell from my clothes, I'm a druid, and I am not one to go and negotiate with orcs. These orcs in particular, many of them are not very fond of elves, and there are reasons behind that. However, the reason I'm coming to you for help is because some of my kin are determined to take that ruby back at any price. And that means they are gearing up to attack these orcs. And I fear if this happens, there will be a great loss of life on both sides. And the orcs do not know what they have in their possession. They do not know that this ruby is precious to us. So, this is where hopefully you can potentially help us. If I give you this ruby, it is an identical mirror copy of the clasp that is in the possession of the orcs, of the Orc Raka, or of his spouse Soria. And if you can somehow manage to swap them and bring the original, the real one, back to me, or back to my kin, we will be very grateful. In fact, we might be able to offer you some excellent compensation.
Just a moment. I'm gonna stand up and wander over to wherever Lyria is sleeping and just like kick her foot and just be like, "You're wanted."
Oh, so much for getting my sleep.
So much for getting your sleep in.
You're gonna want to hear this.
Okay.
Thing.
So she'll give you a summary of what you just heard.
But now, would my empathy be recovered at all?
Nope. You need a full sleep. Technically. There's gonna be time to sleep in the next segment.
Oh, I'm just thinking that I'll be kind of grumpy right now, being woken up, and
I imagine your attitude's gonna change pretty fast when you see that big gem.
So anyway, you wake up, you see that there's an elf sat at the fire.
Got elf business.
And when she sees you looking at her, she smiles and she holds up and kind of gives a little wiggle of this ruby that she's holding.
I'll walk over the fire, sit down,
Hey, Lyria,
get a.
that look familiar to you?
You can definitely make a
Look,
lore roll for this if you want.
You talked about a gem. You talked about an orc warlord. So did this one.
Yeah, I was mentioning what that ruby gem rumor thing could have been that got us started on this. So it wouldn't be much of a stretch to figure out, well, shit. After hearing the story of what they want and what they want to do, it wouldn't take much for me to put two and two together.
Okay.
Elf. Druid.
Sorry, so when
Do you
you're
know
saying
anything
putting
about-
2 and 2 together, what's the 2 and 2 you're putting together?
Well, I was saying before, I was telling them vaguely about like the elf seeds, the elf stones, and how they're rubies.
Sure.
And then now the druid comes here wanting to swap them out. My suspicions in my mind have been confirmed.
Like, there's an incalculably precious gem that they want to get a hold of with as minimal bloodshed as possible.
She says, I see you are not quite kin when you come over. Greetings. And she tells you the story, and then when your eyes kind of squint, maybe when she gets to the point about the ruby being in the possession of the orcs, she smiles and says, "Yes, it is. The ruby is one of our kin. But the orcs do not know this, and it's a very dear it's a very dear elf, and one that should not be worn around the neck of an orc."
You don't need to say more.
I'm glad to hear it. So you'll help.
We will help.
You know, it occurs to me that you could simply trade with the orcs through an intermediary. If they don't understand the value, and you do, you could offer them enormous amounts for it.
Okay. She hands you the ruby, or the stone that she has, and I guess Lyria, you can kind of, when you look at it, the clasp, it's basically like a clasp for a cloak. It's a copper base when you're looking at it up close. Carved into it is a tree, and there are precious stones set around the tree. But right in the center, where the trunk goes into the canopy, so like right in the middle of it, is this massive ruby. But you detect no hint of life in this ruby. It's just a dead stone. But to anyone else that's not elf or has elf blood running through their veins, they, you know, it would look no different to any other kind of ruby, you suspect. And in fact, that's what she tells you. So, yeah, she basically, we're kind of, yeah. She tells you that she kind of tells you a little bit of the lay of this place, this city, this fortress. She tells you there's a fortress sitting above a city. That's the city has been made in the forest. So there's like the forest has been cleared around the city. There are mountains nearby, and there's a mountain, or there's like a massive rock-like mountain that kind of sits just above the tree canopy, and on top of this is a fortress. Yeah, and this fortress is now occupied, as she said, by orcs, and yeah, she's referring to it as the Eye of the Rose. And yeah, she's very, very insistent that a peaceful solution is found. She doesn't want you going in there and killing any of the orcs. She also says that there are some other elves who are are waiting. They've given her a chance to see if they can find anybody else who can maybe attempt to find a peaceful solution, but they're itching to get this ruby back, and they may not wait very long before they actually try and seize it by force. So whatever you do, she's desperate for you to kind of agree to try and get this back without harming anyone.
We will try our best.
Do you have much experience with orcs?
None. Never met one.
Well,
I gather they're dangerous.
You'll have heard the rumors, but yes, they prize strength and prowess in battle above everything else. And this is where Haraka is slightly unusual for an orc, because he is trying to he has this pretense of being different, of trying to be grand and to try and be an emperor, and trying to he thinks that he is wise, although to an elf this is it would be rather funny if he was not in the possession of this ruby. And maybe there's a way to play on Haraka's ambitions to be a wise and glorious emperor of the orc clans, to get into his good graces. But certainly violence is a way of life for orcs. And elves and orcs, we do not have a great history together. And I fear if we were to try and approach them in a peaceful manner, it would not end well.
Elves and goblins don't have much of a history either.
Oh, yes. I think the animosity between orcs and elves is of a different nature to those between your kin and ours, young one.
Well, I'm basically in, and Lyria is an automatic, and the other two of you can get on board or sleep wherever you want.
Now, let me be very clear about something. I may have, in the interest of being transparent, and I said that you'd be paid handsomely. I have no money to pay you, but there are treasures.
Something of an issue there.
There are treasures to be had in the fortress.
So you want us to just go and rob the orcs?
Anything you find in the fortress you can keep.
Our payment is your permission to rob an extremely lethal enemy.
Well,
thank you very much for your permission.
Your deeds would be known to the elves, and our kin would be grateful to you. And should you ever be in need of our help sometime in the future, then we would have a debt to repay to you.
This is sounding less and less material.
You're very right.
Let's not worry about payment right now. We will take this on. How do we get a hold of you once we come back?
I'll be watching and waiting from a distance, and when you leave, I'll be able to find your group. I think without any difficulty.
On the off chance, have you seen a fox around here anywhere?
Just what I was thinking.
Foxes are quite common around these parts.
It's an unusual one.
She shrugs. I don't.
You must have talked to it. You can't be skulking around these woods without it come to have a look at you. Apparently.
I don't tend to. I haven't talked to animals in a few months. I'm a druid.
It's just a question.
I can speak to animals, but
We saw a fox the other day,
I haven't spoken to any foxes. Well,
and it talked to us.
fox.
And
No, I think you're mistaken. I don't see any druids amongst you. It's not. You don't possess the skills to
it's a
speak
weird
to
fox.
animals.
well, it clearly possesses skills to speak to us. Anyway, it said that we're supposed to kill absolutely anybody in its forests that we come across.
That sounds like a very unusual fox. I'm glad I'm not meeting you in its forest then. She gives a little
I
laugh.
would agree.
You maybe want to, if you're going to be hanging around here for a bit, go have a meeting with it, explain what you're doing. Otherwise,
I have more pressing
might be-
things to do.
it might invite some people to come and murder you.
I don't fear foxes. I need to get back to my kin and let them know that that you're
Has she
coming
given,
and to hold off.
Has she given us the ruby?
She's given you the ruby, yes.
Me or Kark?
She handed it to you.
Okay, I'll make sure that's secure in my pouch. All right, well, on the break of dawn tomorrow, we will get on our way and we will find you when we are successful. So she would have given us enough information to be able to confidently travel through the forest to where we have to go, right? No
Yeah.
floundering around.
Yeah. So she basically just says head due west, and eventually you'll see the fortress. It's in the ruins of the ancient elf city of Varasa.
I asked her name. 'cause I
One
don't
thing
think we got that, did
I've
we?
forgotten as well. Yeah, her name is Mergolin.
Right.
Mergolin. And she tells you that there is a hidden passage up to the fortress in the city below. There's a chapel of the gods in the old city park. Okay? And there is a poem that she will tell you that will help you to get into this hidden passage. Okay? She says,
Yeah.
she tells you the poem, and the poem is: 4 divine kisses echo hazily, flow, speak, quiet, wail. The god of clay the vessel shapes, the walker of night the serpent escapes. The fortress is entered through the yield of the tree.
I will make a point of writing this down.
Do you have parchment?
I would assume I would have something in my bag with me. If not, I would just go root through Arlec's bag because I'm sure he has something in there.
Hey, that's
Be-
I'm
being a
wearing my
traitor.
bag.
I'll let you.
We're sleeping.
I'm fishing.
I'll give it
Hey,
to
let's
you. That's
just
fine. You can ask her to repeat it a couple of times until you're happy that you've got it, right?
Sure.
carve it on a branch.
Okay. And after she tells you that, she says her goodbyes and she heads back again.
I don't like her.
Oh,
You
one
don't
other
like
thing.
anybody.
Sorry, she does give you one other thing. Sorry.
It's full of surprises.
Yeah, one more thing she gives to you. She's like, oh, one more thing, like Columbo.
Yes.
She hands you, Lyria, 3 talismans They are copper talismans, so copper like figurines, that are in the shape of small humans. And basically, when she's handing them to you, she unscrews the head of one of them and says, "This, you can do this with all of them. If you put the blood of any kin into this talisman and wear this around your neck, you'll take the shape of the blood's owner for a portion of the day. But
Well,
the owner, the one sacrificing their blood has to be alive for the process to work." So perhaps you can use this to capture some orcs maybe and disguise yourselves as them. You can use the blood from one person into multiple vials as well if you so wish, but she hands the 3 talismans over to you. Unfortunately, I know there are 4 of you. Unfortunately, I don't have a 4th talisman.
we'll have to make it work somehow. Thank you for this aid. I'm sure it will come in handy.
I hope so. I hope it will help you achieve what we need without it coming to violence.
You know, taking somebody's blood by force is violence.
She says her goodbyes and leaves. No other surprises that I've forgotten from the little encounter here. And yeah, Arlek comes back with his fish about 15 minutes after she's left. You didn't see her at all. You were intent.
Yep.
And that's
So we're so serious about.
Nothing.
Let's wait until Key wakes up and then we'll discuss.
All right, I'm gonna start cooking these up.
Yeah, so
Who's
it's
hungry?
the day is waning. You're heading into the evening phase.
Okay, well, it is time for me to sleep.
And we're on day 36, by the way, as well. I'm having
And
some
it is
slight
time
issues.
also for, I think,
having
Lyria to go back to sleep.
Yeah, there's some issues with adding. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm adding some stuff to my GM thing in Gtove, and it's not updating in Like, what does it say for your
Charlotte's
for
been
spring
saying
line?
that the
Does it say like
Gtove has not
36?
been behaving.
Is there a spot on
Ours
36?
hasn't been updating.
Yeah, GTEV hasn't updated a bit. I've had to move
Okay.
the stuff. So
Okay. Anyway, we're on day 36. It's the evening time. We're coming up to the end of the stream as well. So let's just get us ready for the next morning, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we can kind of start with a bang. So what's the plan? You've got a good camp now, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yep. I cook up these fish for 2 units of food over the evening.
So you go ahead
So
and
I'm
make
gonna-
that roll for me. Again, this is not a roll you can push.
So there's no roll for cooking.
Oh, you
I mean,
roll, but
there's
you
a
roll to
roll
see
for,
how
like,
many. Yeah, that's right.
how many units, but it's a cauldron, so it's d6 plus 2, and we only have 2. so yeah, I'm going to add 1 unit for mine, and then someone else can. Up to you. Whoever's awake with me can add another one.
Makes sense.
That would be Kark, because I would have gone back to sleep.
All right, so Kark, you can increase your food another step,
Mm.
or Key, I guess. It's the same.
yeah, I'll get up after that.
But
Give
you
it to
have
Key
a-
because I've got to sleep in the evening if I'm going to be awake at the night.
All right, yeah. So
You said
Key,
you had a
can-
cauldron though, right?
Yep.
Hold on. Oh man, my.
In the second printing, it was changed to a d6 plus 2.
Yeah, if you had more than 2.
I would roll.
Yeah. It's kind of a shame that it can't magically
on.
turn 2 fish into d6 plus 2 fish.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a good reason for that, but it is a shame.
I We don't even know that it was specifically 2 fish. It was 2 units of fish. So
Yeah.
So what?
2
Yeah. So what you're saying is, if you have more than 3 units, you would roll.
I would roll. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, because you're always at the +2. Okay, now I get it. Sorry, I was just kind of trying to catch up mentally with everything else that's been going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Fine. So you do that. Who's doing what else?
I think
Yes.
only
Yeah.
Ed is left to say what he's doing.
Yeah, so when I get up, I'll just keep watch while Alec makes fish. And I will happily do that through the night because I've now slept. I'm a lot warmer.
Okay.
So that kind of allows me to
So-
do that. I'll eat my food and...
Yeah. Why doesn't everybody make a food roll?
Fishy, fishy.
Everyone make a food roll, and I'm assuming you're
Yeah.
just going to fill up your water from the river.
Yeah.
You're still like, attached to the same hex.
Fine.
Now, since my sleep was interrupted, would I have to sleep for another full round to?
Oh yeah.
Probably.
Okay, so yeah,
Yep.
I would continue sleeping through.
So you and Kark are sleeping. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Fine. You sleep through the night. Sorry, I wanted Key to make me a scouting roll, please.
Sure.
Yeah, seeing if any more assorted elf bints come traipsing through the village.
Do I get my
Weirdos.
wits? Do I get my wits back after sleeping?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Some good news as well. During the evening, the rain lessens a bit.
Cool.
It's almost good news there, Matt.
It's still raining. It's just not thunderstorming and pissing it down. Okay.
Nope.
Again, you're keeping watch. Two people are sleeping. Arlek is intent on cooking, and you hear a voice from right behind you.
Right.
That fish smells good.
Who is it?
You turn like startled, and there's a fox right next to you, licking its chops. Go on, give me a bite. Give me a bite.
Sure, will do.
All right.
Alec, can I have some of that fish?
Yeah. Just about ready. What? You hungry already?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah. Here.
I'll feed some to the fox.
All right. Give me a D6 resource roll for food.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening, but I like it.
Okay, I give him the whole fish.
You give him some fish, but he's kind of like
Give
trotting.
him the whole thing.
He's kind of trotting next to Arlek, and as you're kind of reaching in, the fox kind of like bumps your arm a bit, and we'll say that some of it kind of falls into the fire or something, right?
That's fine.
Oh,
Ah.
what a shame! What a shame! Oh,
This is you.
eats the fish, and so and then it kind of looks up at you, and says, "Any idea why your friend didn't kill the elf?"
Nope, no idea. I was asleep.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about this whole encounter.
Not
Well,
a fan of elves.
you're not in my forest anymore, so I'll let you off this once. But
You got a name?
Well, here's
Yeah.
a question.
don't you have a name?
I do. It's Key. How are you?
Ha, key. Like something that opens a door, right?
Well, that's what they call me. My real name's Sawaki.
Ah, okay. So you're not quite the tool you're making yourself out to be.
You're a cute little thing.
My name's. I'm not sure I'm ready to tell you my name yet.
Sure.
So,
What were you saying,
So-
human? other human.
Should we have killed that elf?
I mean, I wouldn't have minded.
Right. Well, I don't mind a lot of things, but some things are better ideas than others.
Well, you just let your half elf there, your friend there, you just let her know that, you know, it would have been nice maybe to have had a little bit of blood spilled, but
Oh,
that's
I
fine.
see.
You are
You're
a
not-
murderous fox.
You're not in my forest, so
Right.
I'll let it slide just this once.
Well, next time we're in your forest, we'll leave you a little something to eat on.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks for the fish anyway.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Catch you around.
Yeah, I hope so.
Disappears into the night. And we're gonna end the stream there.
Son of a bitch, I missed the forest god.
You slept through it. So
Typical.
let's just take a quick recap on where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically we're coming into the night phase, so we're entering into the night phase. Everybody is gonna be at full wits. Apart from, has Arlix slept?
No, and then in the morning, I'm going to be one down.
You've got a full wits though, at least, right?
Or my empathy will be full, I guess, after the night, because I'll rest it, but my wits will be down because it'll be a...
Yeah, but as far as the night is concerned, right now we're because we haven't figured out what you're gonna do during the night phase.
Okay, all right.
Everybody's gonna be back up to full, I think, right?
Do I get any of my strength back?
You get according to rules as written, yes. You ate, you slept.
What about rules from Matt?
Well, it's more there's a thing that I know Eric has been discussing when it comes to regaining strength and agility, and it's based off the Meet Your Zero rules, which is you have to make a roll per strength that you want to recover, and consume that amount of resources. But we're not running that; we're running it rules as written. So yeah.
Okay.
You go straight up. Everything's back up to full for everyone who's slept.
I guess I'm just bruised and battered.
So
Yep.
it's just Arlek who's down 1 empathy.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The sleepless condition is gone from everybody at the moment. The cold conditions are gone
it's
from everybody
cold.
at the moment. So I'm just
Yep.
kind of updating. It should basically be at full health in terms of everything, other than the 1 empathy missing from Arlek.
Right.
Okay, and we are on the night of the 36th, and we're gonna leave it there.
All
So,
right.
Yeah,
Excellent.
we're just bang on time as well. So there wasn't much action in there, but you did have some interactions with some NPCs. So
Are you shitting me? I thought there was loads of action.
Yeah, it's just a lot of tripping action and
Especially for
that's
Kate,
right.
yeah.
We did almost lose
I think
somebody.
it was the
again.
nearly dying of exposure that really kicked things off.
which is quite good. I really do love the fact that as soon as you start going downhill, everything kind of like multiplies, and then it becomes worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
We'll talk.
Yeah, it's concerningly realistic.
We'll talk about it during the tavern talk because I
Yep.
did basically hand wave and just make rulings about cold. I didn't really run it rules as written, so we'll talk about that in the tavern talk in a week or
That's
two.
fine.
But
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. So
Cool.
Indeed.
you're getting
As
closer.
always.
You're getting closer to the place you wanted to go, and you now have some little plot hooks dangling to potentially tell you a bit more about it. So
Yeah.
we'll see
Now
what
all
happens.
we need to do is club Lyria and make friends with the orcs. So,
I think that's way forwards here.
yeah.
We have you a sacrifice.
I mean, I can see how an orc dude would be like, thank
Hey,
you
Matt.
for your tribute of an elf.
Ish.
Yeah.
I'm sure orcs don't. Look, I don't know
Any-
the difference, so orcs don't know the difference, right?
Any theories about the fox?
God of the
Uh,
forest.
Loki.
He likes dead things.
I mean, foxes are carnivores.
Yeah.
Like, you would expect a fox would want to blood spill.
Yeah, that's fair.
They want to eat like hedgehogs and mice and voles and snails, small rabbits.
Some kind of spirit of the forest, perhaps.
I mean,
Who
it's
knows?
a weirdly vicious one, but that's fine. I'm a weirdly vicious spirit of the forest.
That is true.
I figure we just keep feeding him. He's pretty entertaining, so.
Yeah,
Well, the way I figure, the
bit
more
of a
we keep
dick.
feeding him, the less he's likely to do anything to us because we're keeping him amused.
I do think that's the right attitude because I've got a sneaky feeling he is a malevolent sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like if we just kill people from time to time and feed him, we're gonna be good.
Yeah, just like
And I feel like we're gonna do that anyway. You know,
it's like the
so.
Little Shop of Horrors, but with a fox instead of a plant.
How about from Foxfire? Any theories?
Some kind of trickster god.
Okay. You said Loki, didn't
Godling.
you?
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Right, we're going to leave it there. So thank you very much for watching, everybody in chat.
Thank you very much,
And,
everyone.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
playing, guys. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
Harry, I'm glad
Good
we got
night,
your
everybody.
internet working by the end as well.
That's right. I found myself an Ethernet cable that was pretty long.
Ah, good. Okay. Cool. So, a solution for next time too, maybe. Hopefully.
Solution for basically every time I use my laptop going forward, I imagine.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so basically if you've watched the show to the end and you haven't done already, then if you could hit subscribe, that's really helps the show a lot. And yeah, we're going to be doing shows every Thursday and Sunday, not this show, twice a week. All of the actual play stuff that's currently on the channel is once a month. Yeah, I took a break off in August because I had a lot going on. But yeah, we're going to be going back to once a month. December is going to be basically taking December off. I might do some smaller shows, kind of a bit more ad hoc on the side, but we won't be doing any of the actual play stuff. And that's it. So yeah, follow us. If you hit subscribe, you'll get alerts when we go live. But again, it's every Thursday and Sunday at 9 p.m. local German time, which is 7 p.m. UTC, and you can work it out from there. I'm not gonna give every main one.
Oh god, is that something like...
Charlotte's in Mountain
Carry
Time, which
some
is I
big
think
time.
1 p.m. Is that right? 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1 p.m. Mountain Time, which I guess is noon Pacific. So yeah.
Although, if you're living
3
somewhere where there's a lot of
Eastern.
forest fires, I think this might be the last concern you've got right now.
Yeah.
We won't go there. But yeah.
Hey, I've got an idea. Let's burn the forest.
No.
It's
Art
wet.
imitating life, imitating art.
It's wet. It would be really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So we're gonna leave it there, and we'll catch you next time. Next show is going to
Awesome.
be, what was the date I said for this? 1 second.
Question.
October.
Oh,
18th
God,
of
dates.
October. So Sunday, the 18th of October is going to be our next session. So, yeah.
Okay.
Is it going to be Halloween themed? Is it going to be Oktoberfest themed? I don't know. Let's all get some beer.
Seems like a plan.
I'm pretty sure we all like beer.
It
Yeah.
might be orc themed.
Orc themed beer?
All right.
Oh, I get hobgoblin beer. That's what I'll do.
Ah.
All right. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll
Thank
catch
you very
next
much. Cheers.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Have a night.